Hello, and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's regular meeting for Tuesday, October 6, 2020. My name is Kim Clark Baskin, and I am the Assistant City Clerk. With us today, we have our sign language interpreter, Nick Miller. The following is a list of legislation to be introduced by Pittsburgh City Council. Councilman Reverend Ricky Burgess presents Bill number 763. Resolution providing for an agreement with the Pittsburgh Board of Public Education on another vendor chosen through the city bid process for the purpose of providing meals in connection with the 2020-2021 food service program in the Department of Parks and Recreation. Cost not to exceed $850,000. Bill number 764. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the United States Tennis Association to provide supplies to reopen the Mellon tennis bubble, which is currently closed to the public due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $5,000 for this stated purpose. Bill number 765, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of the Rachel O. Alfabli in an amount not to exceed $1,200 for the payment of services for the introduction of technology training, development, and delivery of services rendered to the youth of the city of some of the city parks recreation centers. Bill number 777, ordinance amending ordinance 22 of 2020, entitled Directing the Allegheny County Board of Elections to place before the qualified voters of the city of Pittsburgh at the 2020 November general election a referendum question. Shall the Pittsburgh Home Rule Charter, Article 2, Executive, be amended and supplemented by amending and adding new language to Section 229 and 230, and adding a new Section 231 to remove the requirements to mail to every registered elector in the city of Pittsburgh. Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Bill number 766. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the Federal Department of Homeland Security to install diesel exhaust apparatus in multiple emergency medical services stations. Councilwoman Deb Gross presents Bill number 767. Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for the 5803 Center Avenue residential retail development. Bill number 768. Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for the Carnegie Mellon University Scaife Hall at 4805 Frew Street. Councilman Bruce Kraus presents Bill number 769, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code, Title VI, Conduct, Article 5, Discrimination, Chapter 659, Unlawful Practices, Section 659.02, Unlawful Employment Practices, 659.03, Unlawful Housing Practices, and 659.04, Unlawful Public Accommodation Practices to prohibit employment, housing, and public accommodation discrimination based on hairstyle and protective and cultural hair textures and hairstyles. Councilman Daniel Lavelle presents Bill number 770. Resolution providing for further renewal by the Council of the City of Pittsburgh of a declaration of disaster emergency ratified by Council on March 17th, 2020, to extend the effectiveness of the declaration for 36 days. Additionally, hereby making the declaration effective until November 10th, 2020, in response to the ongoing public health emergency associated with the spread of the coronavirus. Bill number 771. Resolution amending Resolution 880 of 2019, which authorized the fee schedule for 2020 pursuant to Chapter 170 of the City Code in order to update the fees associated with the Shinley Park Ice Rink for the remainder of 2020. Bill number 772. Resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in the sum of $392,000 in favor of DH, a minor by and through the natural guardian, as final settlement related to an action filed in the Western District Court of Pennsylvania. Councilman Corey O'Connor presents Bill number 773. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into 3 sponsorship agreements for the Richard S. Caligiuri Great Race. Councilman Bobby Wilson presents Bill number 774. Resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the Gallagher Kiefer House, located at 234 Dithridge Street in North Oakland, 4th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. Bill number 775. Resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the Heron Hill Pumping Station, located at 4501 Center Avenue in North Oakland in the 5th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. And Bill number 776. Resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the St. John Vianney Church, located at 225 Allen Street in Allentown in the 18th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. That concludes the reading of the legislation for introduction. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council for Tuesday, October 6, 2020. Council will continue to meet virtually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. until further notice. All meetings will be live streamed on the city's channel's YouTube channel. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross. Mr. Kraus. Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you very much. As we join from our remote locations, we ask that you would either rise or put your hand on your heart or just think of the flag as we together say our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence. Thank you. Our next order of business is proclamation. We have proclamations to be read into the record. First, Councilman Kraus.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 780. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does recognize, honor, celebrate, and thank the Southside Slopes Neighborhood Association residents and volunteers for their relentless commitment to the Southside Slopes and the City of Pittsburgh. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, October 3rd, 2020, to be Southside Slopes Step Trek Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Need a
Motion to
motion?
approve.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposers, nay. Mr. Connor.
Mr. O'Connor presents Bill number 781. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize the 150th anniversary of the original Oyster House and further congratulating Jennifer Grippo, who carries on her father, Lou Grippo's legacy and last wish to continue providing the best tavern seafood in the City of Pittsburgh. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Monday, October 12, 2020, to be the original Oyster House Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Motion approved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ms. Smith, if you would introduce those for Ms. Smith, please.
Council President Smith presents Bill number 782. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby thank Dr. Ramon Hart for his unselfish efforts benefiting the City of Pittsburgh and nearly every region. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, October 16, 2020, to be Dr. Ramon Hart Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next proclamation, please.
Bill number 783. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend the Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire for their commitment to serving their fellow residents, and we encourage the citizens of Pittsburgh to participate in fire prevention activities at home, work, and school. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh declares the week of October 4th through the 10th, 2020 to be Fire Prevention Week in the City of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion?
So move.
Need a
Okay.
second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 784. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize our Hispanic American citizens and honor the achievements of Hispanic Americans throughout our country. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare September 15th through October 15th, 2020, to be Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 785. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh declares the second Saturday of October, October 10th, 2020, Pineview Step Challenge Day here in our most livable city of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay.
Aye.
That brings us to Mr. Wilson, I think.
Yeah, I just read.
For the proclamation?
Is there another proclamation?
Yeah, we just approved that.
No,
Pardon me?
there's-
Okay, that's one. Okay, looks like, I thought it was two different ones. It's one. Okay, thank you very much. All right, that now takes us to public comment. I'd like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before council. Profanity will not be permitted. When you please state your name and neighborhood for the record, you will have 3 minutes in which to speak. We have as our first speaker, Shaman Pomai. Shaman, are you with us? Shaman Pomai or Pomi, are you with us? All right, not seeing you, perhaps you'll join us later. I'll go to Ikahana Halmakina. Are you with us?
Greetings of peace. Yes, I am. Thank you. My title is Ikahana Halmakina, the Grand Inca of the Iroquois Confederacy of Aborigine American people. I have the whole entire weight of my nation on my shoulders, to include my ancestors. They are counting on me to revitalize and to restore and also to reclaim our ancestral land, culture, and our tradition. In order to do so, I must dispel the myth that we are Black, African American, Negroes, people of color, or colored. I assure you that we didn't arrive here in 1619 on the bottom of slave ships. Just as I assure you, Christopher Columbus did not discover America. The term African American is new, and it was introduced in the 1980s under the leadership and guise of political leader Jesse Jackson and a woman by the name of Ramona Edelin out of Chicago. She led the charge as calling people African American was her brainchild, as it is historically described. How could a people be named something or referred to or identified as such if this term only was introduced in the 1980s? Most of you on city council are older than the term African American. Let that marinate. Prior to that, it was Stokely Carmichael who drove home being called Black. As a counteract to white power, people began to identify as Black, which, might I add, was considered a derogatory term in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. To call someone Black would invoke a fight. So I implore you to do your research on these people, to include Master Eugenics, Walter Ashby Plecker in 1912, who changed colored in 1912. You can look him up as well. So now, as you see, I've given you the history of some of these social political constructs, these terms that people identify. I also would like to ask you, why would there be so many different terms every decade or so to describe a people? I would employ that you are hiding something, that the people who have created these terms are hiding the identity, the true identity of Indigenous people here in America long.
Thank you very much. The next registered speaker is Koda Kibe. Koda Kibe, are you with us? How about Shaman Pomai? Are you with me? All right. Seeing and having now no more speakers of the presentation papers. Pardon me?
Hello?
Is that Hello, are you Shaman Toma? Or
It's
Kota?
Cody Key Bay. Cody Key Bay.
All right, you have we were just about to keep going, but go ahead, you can speak now.
All right, greetings. Yes, this is Cody Key Bay, the Iroquois Confederacy of Aboriginal American People. And again, I would like to remind City Council that Aborigine, or so-called Indian, the original peoples of the Americas, are around in the Pittsburgh area. We have sent out some emails to different City Council members. Hopefully you received them well, to schedule a meeting to talk about the lands and different areas and resources, and to include Aboriginal peoples into the conversation. You know, time and time again, we have been swept under the rug through tactics such as colonization, reclassification, several broken treaties, not to mention the Treaty of Fort Pitt, which was just for passage of the United States to come through the lands known at that time as the Delaware region, which would include Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, parts of Virginia. And through that region, several treaties were made with the United States and several municipalities, and time again, those treaties have been broken. We've been pushed under the wayside and or reclassified, taken out of our original status and given a U.S. citizen status or a status of chattel status underneath someone, right? But we're saying, you know, we're here to enforce our constitutional guarantees, our constitutional protections, and we must talk about these things because everyone is not Black, Negro, or colored. We don't subscribe to those socio-political constructs, and it's time to come to the table so we can help you guys make proper legislation when it comes to concerning Aboriginal people, so-called American Indians, right here in the Americas, especially in the Pittsburgh area. With that being said, I look forward to our meeting. I look forward to speaking with everybody in City Council and to really engage and open up a tough dialogue, a hard dialogue that has been long overdue, and one that we hope to bring some resolution to not only the communities within the Pittsburgh region, but for Aboriginal American people within that region. Thank you very much for your time. Now you have the rest of my time.
All right, and Shaman Pomi is not here. All right, that exhausts our list of registered speakers. We will now move on to the presentation of papers. We have, first of all, myself, who is the chair of Urban Recreation, Councilman Coghill. Madam Clerk.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 763, resolution providing for an agreement with the Pittsburgh Board of Public Education or another vendor chosen through the city bid process for the purpose of providing meals in connection with the 2020-2021 food service program in the Department of Parks and Recreation. The total cost shall not exceed $850,000. Bill number 764, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Parks and Recreation to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the United States Tennis Association to provide supplies to reopen the Mellon Tennis Bubble, which is currently closed to the public due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $5,000. Bill number 765, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Rachel O. Afolabi in an amount not to exceed $1,200 for the payment of services in the introduction of technology, training, development, and delivery services rendered to the youth of the city at some of the city's park recreation centers and providing for the payment thereof. Bill number 777, ordinance amending ordinance 22 of 2020 entitled directing the Allegheny County Board of Election to place before the qualified voters of the city at the 2020 November general election as a referendum question. Shall the Pittsburgh Home Rule Charter Article 2 Executive be amended and supplemented by amending and adding new language to sections 229 and 230 and adding a new section 231, expanding the powers of the Independent Citizen Police Review Board to allow the board to acquire police officers to participate in investigating, conducting performance audits of the police bureau and preventing the removal of board members except for just cause and with city council approval, to remove the requirement to mail to every registered elector in the city.
I need a motion to waive Rule 8 on Bill 0777.
So move.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you very much. That takes us to Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Works. Madam Clerk.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 766, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreement to receive grant fundings from the Federal Department of Homeland Security to install diesel exhaust apparatus in multiple emergency medical services stations, and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $591,625.75 for this stated purpose. Supplemental funds from the city's 2021 capital budget are required in the amount of $446,457.96 for this stated purpose, for a total project cost of $1,038,083.71.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs. Madam Clerk.
Councilman, thank you.
Welcome.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 767, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for the 5803 Center Avenue residential retail development. Bill number 768, resolution adopting the plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for the Carnegie Mellon University Scoff Hall, 4805 Fruh Street. Bill number 779, resolution requesting the approval of an intermunicipal transfer of liquor license from Affolter Enterprises, Inc. to the applicant Cabaret LLC for the premises located at 7926 Frankstown Avenue, known as the Cabaret LLC, pursuant to amended Pennsylvania Liquor Code.
Thank you very much. We have Councilman Kraus, Chair of Human Resources.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 769, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh City Code Title 6, Conduct Article 5, Discrimination, Chapter 659, Unlawful Practices, Unlawful Employment Practices, Unlawful Housing Practices, and Unlawful Public Accommodation Practices to prohibit employment, housing, and public accommodation discrimination based on hairstyle and protected and cultural hair textures and hairstyles.
Thank you very much. Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 770, resolution providing for further renewal by the council of the city of a declaration of disaster emergency ratified by council on March 17, 2020, to extend the effectiveness of the declaration for 36 additional days, thereby making the declaration effective until November 10, 2020, in response to the ongoing public health emergency associated with the spread of the coronavirus. Bill number 771, resolution amending Resolution 880 of 2019, which authorized the fee schedule for 2020 pursuant to Chapter 170 of the City Code in order to update the fees associated with the Shenley Park Ice Rink for the remainder of 2020. Bill number 772, resolution providing for the issuing of a warrant in the total sum of $392,000 in favor of DH a minor by through her natural guardian CRH in care of the law offices of Timothy P. O'Brien Esquire as final settlement related to the action filed in the Western District Court of Pennsylvania.
Mr. President,
Mr. Lavelle,
motion to waive the rules of council so Bill 770 may be approved under final action today.
need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. We will consider it at the end of our normal final action bills. That takes us to Councilman O'Connor, who is the Chair of Public Safety Services.
No papers, Councilman.
Yes, you have two.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. I thought those were next week. Okay, sorry.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 773, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of public safety to enter into 3 sponsorship agreements for the Richard S. Caligari Great Race. Bill number 778, resolution approving the recommendation made by the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure that Darlington Court be paved with asphalt in accordance with section 41706 of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances.
Thank you very much. That brings us to Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
No new papers, Mr. President.
That brings us to Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Mr. President, thanks.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 774, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances, that certain structure known as the Gallagher Kiefer, located at 234 Dietrich Ridge Street in the North Oakland 4th Ward of the city. Bill number 775, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances, that certain structure known as the Harrion Hill Pumping Station, located at 4501 Center Avenue in North Oakland, 5th Ward of the city. Bill number 776, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances, that certain structure known as the St. John Vianney Church, located at 225 Allen Street in Allentown, 18th Ward of the city.
Thank you very much. There are no papers to be presented by the chair. We will now move to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business before council? Seeing no unfinished business, the next order of business is report of the Committee for Final Action. We will start with Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle, Committee on Finance and Law.
Mr. President,
Thank you very much.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 758, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for September 30th, 2020, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 733, resolution amending Resolution 838 of 2019, which authorized the mayor and chief equity officer to execute relevant agreements with neighborhood allies to implement the creation of financial empowerment centers within the city by adding 4 additional years and increasing funding to offer the service through 2023 at a cost not to exceed $150,000. Bill number 734, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Finance to enter into an agreement with the Allegheny County Bar Association to provide legal advertising to the city for performing state mandated advertising of treasurer sales.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Rose.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. Lavelle.
sorry, aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith. Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you very much. The bills having received the required numbers of votes is finally passed. That takes us to Councilman Corey O'Connor, Committee on Public Safety Services.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 759, report of the Committee on Public Safety Services for September 30th, 2020, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 735, resolution amending resolution number 246, which had previously amended resolution number 493 and resolution number 133, authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the city into a third amended professional services agreement with Johnson Control for continued security camera integration and support services at a cost of $587,400, extending such agreement for 1 year and increasing the overall agreement compensation to $5,690,002.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. The clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. LaBelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
That brings us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, Committee on Public Works.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 760, report of the Committee on Public Works for September 30th, 2020, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 730, resolution approving the recommendation made by the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure that Mulberry Way be paved with asphalt in accordance with Section 41706 of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances. Bill number 731, resolution granting unto the Brashear Association, their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to install a new subsurface water meter vault for new domestic and fire service at 314 Brownsville Road in the 30th Ward, 3rd Council District. Bill number 736, resolution amending resolution number 549 of 2019, which authorized the mayor and director of public works to enter into an agreement between the city and the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership for the services rendered by Clean Team Ambassadors within the Southside PED by extending the contract for a term of 2 years at an annual cost not to exceed $150,000.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. LaBelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is finally passed. That now takes us to Councilman Bruce Kraus, Committee on Human Resources.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 761, report of the Committee on Human Resources for September 30th, 2020, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 732, resolution providing for a professional services agreement with Big Picture Lab LLC for video production services in an amount not to exceed $25,000. Of the total cost, $12,500 will come from HUD Trust Fund and $12,500 will come from the Commission's Community Development Block Grant funding.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye. Sorry.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bills having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. That brings us next to Councilman Bobby Wilson, the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 762, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for September 30th, 2020 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 645, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain site known as the Shrine of the Blessed Mother located off Wakefield Street in South Oakland, 4th Ward of the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Is there any discussion on the bill? If not, I do have something I wish to share. On Wednesday, during Council's Standing Committee meeting, I exposed the clever scheme to seize the property rights of the Catholic Church. I only asked 2 questions that were refused to be answered until I unveiled them. One, is the shrine on church property? And the answer is absolutely yes. And 2, did the church approve of the designation? And the answer is absolutely not. For that reason, today, I will not be supportive of the historic designation. But during that historic review discussion, a more troubling conversation developed. Councilman Kraus, in various statements, referred to me as a Trumpian know-everything who is self-important and self-righteous. A know-it-all, self-important, a self-righteous. Those characterizations are not only untrue and hurtful, but in today's climate, they are especially insensitive, unfortunate, and inappropriate. I am a proud African-American Black man, a pastor, professor, and public servant. I don't know everything, but I've spent my entire life as a servant leader trying to empower and serve others in the church, in the classroom, and here at council. I do not support Donald Trump, although I pray for his speedy recovery from the COVID-19 virus. And coincidentally, on that same day, on Wednesday, Councilman Lavelle and I met personally and privately with Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Joe Biden, to discuss the importance and righteous needs of the Black community in Pittsburgh. I still believe Black Pittsburgh matters, which means Black lives matter, protecting the health and safety of Black people. Black communities matter, the rebuilding of traditional Black communities, and Black wealth matters, increasing employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for Black people. Only by working together, united in purpose, can we transform our city, strengthen it for all of its residents. Pittsburgh can only be a city for all when it becomes a city where Black Pittsburgh matters. Any other conversation? If not, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye.
Reverend Burgess.
Mr. Coghill.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be clear. You said that property where the shrine is was on church property. I was under the understanding that it was clearly city property. So I don't know. I mean, do we have clarification on that?
The shrine itself is absolutely on church property. All the property that surrounds the shrine is on city property. They conclude, it is part of the footprint of the shrine. It is not the shrine itself.
Okay, well, I did see a piece on the news. It really is a beautiful site. I don't look to get in the way of it. I just wanted clarification on that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other conversation? Seeing no other conversation, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
No.
Aye, 7, noes 1.
The bills having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. That takes us back up to the resolution introduced by Councilman Lavelle, which is bill number 0770. If the clerk would please read the title of the bill again, please.
Bill 770, resolution providing for further renewal by the Council of the City of a declaration of disaster emergency ratified by Council on March 17, 2020, to extend the effectiveness of the declaration for 36 days, thereby making the declaration effective until November 10, 2020, in response to the ongoing public health emergency associated with the spread of the coronavirus.
The bill is now ready for, is there any conversation on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, noes 0.
All right. I will do the meeting announcements first and then go to motions and resolutions. Tomorrow, Wednesday, October 7th at 10 a.m., council will meet for our standing committees meeting. To register to speak, please call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138 by 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Also, tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, a Cablecast post agenda discussion is scheduled via Zoom platform on justice-related and human services. On Thursday, October 8th, with sessions at 2 and 2:30, council will hold a briefing with the Office of Sustainability as it relates to sustainable development goals. We are now at the motion and resolutions part of our meeting. Any comments or concerns by members of council?
Yes, I have
Ms.
one.
Strasburger.
Thank you. I was moved to say something about this today because I'm just fed up. I am fed up with our air quality. And I'm fed up with the fact that council has very little control over the quality of our air. After getting, after years and years of receiving public comment from people in the district I represent and outside of the district I represent about poor air quality days, the smell of sulfur in the air, knowing that our asthma rates in communities, especially communities of color outside of the city of Pittsburgh, are higher than the national average, especially for children. I'm tired of telling people that we have no control over this, and I have to just speak up and call it as it is whenever we have a bad air quality day. I was looking at my air quality index, which is something that unfortunately people in California and Oregon and the West Coast are having to become very familiar with because of the wildfires there. And today our air quality index is a 70, which is moderate. My hometown, which is actually in California, where the fires are burning, is only 8 points higher. It's at 78. So it calls for 78 AQI and haze there, only 70 points lower here in Pittsburgh on a normal day. We got to do better than this. And it's mostly in the county's hands. I'm going to call out the county. I refuse to believe that this is a jobs versus an environment or public health issue, because we can create jobs that are good union, good paying jobs that are also good for our health and the environment. And, you know, we got to do what we can as the city too. One of the biggest ways we can make an impact is through, you know, encouraging transportation that isn't cars and isn't burning of fossil fuels, but also our buildings. So I'd encourage everyone to come to the Thursday briefing at 2 p.m. But I was just fed up this morning, and I had to say something about it, because it's just, it seems like it's every day that there's an inversion, every day there's a foggy day. You smell the smell from the nearby coal burning plants or coke plants, and it's, you know, as a city, our hands are tied. So I know that our pretty new health department director is under a lot of pressure now dealing with COVID. But as soon as possible, I'm going to be setting up a meeting to meet with her and to talk with her about this, because this needs to be made a priority, because it's a double whammy for kids with asthma if they're experiencing air quality concerns and, you know, the risk of COVID on top of that. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much for those thoughtful words. Anyone else with something to present before council?
Sorry, Mr. President, I just wanted to echo and say thank you to Councilwoman Strasburger for speaking up today. It's disheartening that this is such a long running problem and that we've made so little progress. So thank you for calling attention to air quality.
Okay. Again, is there any other items to be brought before council? Seeing none, I'll accept a single, well, we are certainly all in prayer still for Council President Kel Smith and her family, and that God would strengthen them in this moment. I need a motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposers, nay. We are adjourned.